Okay, I'm Sean. I'm the producer, or one of the producers of BloodRayne. And here with Kristana Loken, one of our stars, Uwe Boll, the director, Will Sanderson, another one of our stars, and Brian Knight, our first AD.
And a star, too.
And a star.
And Sean's Blackberry.
That's a cool shot. Tell me about the title sequence a bit.
What?
How did you get this title sequence? I really like it.
Yeah, so only to so I'm Uwe. You recognize me from my the German accent, and and this title sequence we developed out of pictures from Hieronymus Bosch and Goya. It's another painter from the late Middle Age and then later in the 17th, 1800s. And these are all motifs from, let's say, the age where the pest was over Europe and the Inquisition happened. And at that time also the legions of the vampires came up, basically. And we painted our own pictures, like with the picture with you, Kristana, and here with Ben Kingsley. And we put it all in the beginning of the movie to get a good, interesting opening.
So
and
that picture of Ben Kingsley, that wasn't Goya?
Who painted them?
This was, I think, a guy from Vancouver and hired by...
Guys from our visual effects department in Vancouver.
Yeah.
They're really cool.
Yeah. This is a Carpathen mountain in Romania. We went to Romania to shoot the movie in original Transylvania because there's a whole mountain region, what is Transylvania, where Vlad Dracul's house is, and this is in Sighișoara, and we shot in Sighișoara directly. The beginning this year is Sighișoara, and there Graf Dracul lived, basically, and
also known as Vlad the Impaler.
Exactly. So we used original locations for most of the movie, and I think it was a good step to go to that original locations, because in a lot of movies we see today, like let's say Van Helsing or movies like this, the background or the castles, they look quite fake, and here it's all real.
And you really get a feeling of the country and the place and just the energy of the people and all the history that's gone on there. It's pretty powerful.
Yeah, Brian was the first AD and also an actor in the movie. So and you were like a long time in Romania, even longer as I. So what do you think what the problem of Romania is to shoot there, or the advantage of Romania?
The big problem is communication, and I think a lot of skilled labor. I think there's some really good people there, and but they work pretty hard, so that's kind of helps. But the communication, language, you have to learn a little bit of Romanian to get by.
Did you learn any Romanian, Brian?
Da.
Liniște vă rog.
Liniște vă rog, which is what I had to say all the time, which is quiet, please.
Yeah.
Te iubesc.
Te iubesc.
I love you.
Sambac pula e mamata.
Oh, Jesus.
And Zuch Bulla. We shouldn't forget this.
What are those?
I don't know.
I have
we
no
should
idea.
Say this now. So,
We'll be censored in Romania now.
Yeah. The guy who plays here the bartender, the bar keeper, is a Romanian actor. And what we did before, you hear his hard accent, basically. We did a big casting in Bucharest with hundreds of people. And the tough thing is that the Romanian actors are all coming from stage, like theater work, basically. And so they're overacting in a major way. And then the English has a big problem, and would be basically the same if I play the parts. And, and this was a problem to find good actors. So we were forced to fly more people in. And I think the idea for the whole movie was in the beginning that we fly only the lead actors in, but then finally we came up with more and more actors from outside, and
he was Romanian though. This guy, he was
Romanian.
great.
Yeah, he had a good,
because the theatrical thing for the circus was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but even the guy behind Kristana, Storm, TJ Storm,
Storm,
is from LA. So during we started, let's say during we started shooting, or 1 week before shooting, we started shooting. Sean came up with one name actor after the other. So, Sean, what was the casting process on that movie?
It took a while. Kristana was the first person we got, and then everything fell in quickly after that. So you were coming off of T3, and a movie in South Africa,
Yeah.
and then once we got Kristana, everybody else signed on pretty quick.
That was what sealed it for me.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons Will said yes to the movie.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, no. But from when I was a kid, I saw Kristana and stuff.
When I was a kid,
And I thought that it would be great to work with her, and I was going to turn it down, but
What is your
the money was good, and
birthday?
Kristana was great. So yeah.
I always wanted to do a vampire movie. There's something so kind of darkly, mysteriously sexy about it.
it's very sexy.
And wrong, just taking someone's life force and using it to sustain yourself.
What's wrong with that?
And
As a-
Christina always
as a
wanted
producer,
to work
I
with
don't-
Will Sanderson.
Yeah,
I know
my
it.
burning desire.
Yeah. Here's the circus scenes. We built that circus in the Sturbe Forest, nearby the studio, nearby the Media Pro Studios, and the extras there are basically gypsies.
Our
And-
first week.
It was our
The
first
week
day.
of shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she is a Romanian actress. She was, I would say, the second best Romanian actress we had in the movie. She plays Amanda and Madalena. I don't know the last name anymore, but
Look at us, Dan Clark. He'll know.
yeah, and she has a great face, I think.
She was good.
Yeah,
Except you dubbed her voice.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, we dubbed the voice. Yeah, but because of the availability of ADR, this was a problem. So
She actually her voice double is pretty good.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
It works.
yeah, this castle here, the Hunadora Castle, is real. So it's not a CGI castle; it's a real castle. From now on, it's CGI. Here we fly through the thing to Kagan's throne room, and here we have
There's Will.
Will coming in,
Yeah.
who was 3.5 years in a hairdressing studio for that movie. So, Will, how was it to work with Ben Kingsley?
It was awesome. He's the man. He's Sir Ben. But
One of the weakest commentary on a DVD.
yeah,
So
no. He was he was really great, and he actually offered when we were doing stuff together, we would talk in between and stuff, and I didn't think he'd really talk to me, because he's so huge. But no, he was really good about talking to me and helping me out with my performance and all that kind of stuff, and he was really interested in what I was doing, so he couldn't have been more helpful.
Here's
Sure.
the Carpathian Mountains again.
now we can stop the commentary.
I thought it
We
was
have to
good.
rewind, and you have to do a new commentary about Ben Kingsley.
I thought it was really nice.
I thought he was always drunk on set the whole time. No,
No.
bullshit. No, but I want to add also in that Ben is not only a great actor, but he was perfectly prepared, and
Yeah.
he plays Kagan totally minimalistic, what I really like. And this is like my favorite scene of the whole movie, what we see right now.
The attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's totally intense with Kristana in that forest crying. And I think we shot that where she was actually really crying in the forest because of the bad food on set. Yeah, we only switched the camera on.
Well, we kind of did it as an after thought, didn't we?
Yeah.
We just thought, what if we wanted to really keep the through line story of the human aspect of the character and her really trying to come to terms with having to kill to sustain herself and to survive, but just having a real moral problem with doing it and accepting that. So Uwe came to me and said, why don't we just have you just in the forest, just completely just freaking out and losing it, after what the bloodlust and thirst and this rampage that you've just gone on. And I loved the idea. The weirder and the stranger and the more bizarre and surreal it is, the more I like it.
I like that killing because
That's-
that's like the game.
It's right out of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That was good.
What I like is we really went for it in this film. You know, we made it as bloody and as sensual and as bizarre and disturbing as we wanted. And you know, it's like anything in life. Unless you really go for it, what's the point?
Yeah, the plan was to do BloodRayne not as a superhero movie like Catwoman, Elektra, this kind of movies. The plan was to do it as a prequel for the game. So we put it in the 1700 because the game is based in the Second World War, and to show like how BloodRayne became BloodRayne, and to go to the original locations and to tell a classical vampire story. And Gwyneth Turner, she co-wrote American Psycho, came up with the best pitch for this from all writers we had, and I think she wrote a very, very good script where we all were attracted, and we did a real classic vampire movie now, and not a movie where people flying around and basically vampires are bloodsuckers. These are humans with no big abilities, but they need blood. And this in the game also, like her energy level in the game goes down if she's not getting blood. So we did the same in the movie, and it makes it real. And we went from the beginning on, the decision was clear to go for a very bloody, gory movie, because a movie like BloodRayne would be a joke if it's PG-13. So we hired Olaf Ittenbach from Germany, a splatter director, to do the blood effects. And he is, of course, not saving the blood pump stuff in that movie. It's in a lot of times a little over the top, but in the end, it's better as to lowball this in a movie like this. And I think we made it in editing, and especially with Doug Audie's team from Technicolor, way better with the effects we did out of that. Things that we speed rammed, and we did like that special effect that the people having like a ghost going at the same time around you, so two bodies, and I think it was a good idea to do it this way. And here we have our troupe, like Matt Davis, he played in Tigerland from Joel Schumacher, with Colin Farrell the lead. Michael Madsen we know out of hundreds of movies, and Michelle Rodriguez. Here's one of other example for that flashbacks.
I think the flashbacks are really well used in this movie. They're not overdone, but they really do tell the story in such a way that makes you look a little bit deeper.
Yeah. And the good thing with Matt and Michael Madsen is they are not like this kind of superheroes. They are not so super strong in a way, and Michael Madsen is more that fucked up brimstone warrior, and Michelle is also a tough cookie basically, so you believe her that she killed now Amanda in a way.
Okay.
My name's Will Sanderson. I play Dalmastier.
You see this commentary after a break. Everybody don't know how.
We had to stop for Starbucks.
Yeah.
Now
This
they got
was,
their plug.
I think, was that the first shooting day of Michael Madsen, Brian?
This was,
No.
yeah. This is day
no.
2, actually.
No, day 1 was in a dungeon.
No, we were out here on the thing, and then we
Yeah.
went to the dungeon on the Saturday. We started on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I think this was the first day. And this is Vancouver now, our favorite shooting place. I think
Where
the
is it?
Vancouver. What
This
is
is
it?
the Orpheum Theater in
Orpheum
Vancouver.
Theater.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And
That's
this
great.
was a reshoot after we recognized the movie makes no sense. We brought Billy Zane back and Mike Dopit. You know him from Rollerball, White Noise, soon Dungeon Siege.
And he's on the Bright Light hockey team.
Yeah, this is the reason he's all in all Bright Light movies basically. And
He's the enforcer. He's the protector. That's why.
Billy Zane plays the father of Michelle Rodriguez, and he is a competitor of Kagan and wants to get a hold of the talisman also. And I think he brings an interesting color in that movie, And basically, he shot a movie in Romania same time we shot our movie, and we hired him for a daily part there to do that thing. And the part was, because it was only one scene with Domestiers coming later, we had that impression after we edited the movie, we have to bring him earlier to make his part stronger and more interesting.
I thought this was a great scene too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great scene,
Yeah,
and
it
I
is.
think it fits perfectly in
It's
the
really
movie,
cool, yeah.
and it makes sense
great.
to for Michelle's
backstory.
Yeah, backstory. It was good to do that additional scene. It was 7 months after the movie was wrapped, and we just saw Michelle Rodriguez on a horse. It's the only shot on the horse we ever got from her before
No,
it was
there's all the
clear
stuff
she
at the
cannot
beginning.
ride a horse.
She was fine. We found it hard to stage scenes on 4 or 5 horses with actors.
Yeah,
Except
so
for
we had to
Kristana.
pick up everybody
Kristana
separate.
could ride.
I had no problem.
Will,
I had no problem.
you're okay.
I did every last riding
But
shot.
the horses were very tricky
They were not.
in Romania.
They were not good
They were
picture
junk,
horses.
yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't trained well. They weren't accustomed to equipment or loud noises, or which makes it very difficult.
I had a riding double and he was 300 pounds.
You see him in various shots that he's
I
a little
know.
fatter as you, like if you look really carefully in it. But now you look almost like him, I have to say, 1 year later.
What a dickhead.
This special blades, what BloodRayne has here, she got it from Amanda. How was it to handle it? Because it looks a little stiff. Because it's tough to do this basically with that blades on the.
The weapons were tricky. They're really long and they were heavy, and they were not balanced. So the one end with the hook was much heavier than the long blade edge.
Yeah.
But you know,
It's in the game, and in the game as an animation figure, it's so much easier to do something.
course
and
it is.
then in reality,
yeah.
to do it, it's not so easy. So if you see a photo from BloodRayne, you think like, oh, why not everybody has this kind of weapons? But the
Right.
reality is, a real sword is way easier to handle as this kind of special thing.
That's the toughest thing about the whole adapting the video game to the film.
Yeah.
Is that everything that everybody's expecting in the video game seems so easy and flawless and
Right.
seamless,
Yeah.
and actually trying to make it practical is oftentimes impossible.
Yeah.
That's why you hire me.
And look, it worked.
Yeah.
No, but they were pretty cool weapons to work with. I mean, they were fun. They were really versatile, and they were difficult, but loved all those training montages.
This is in Shigasura.
Yeah, back in the Israel.
This is where I found my puppy,
Yeah.
Bobby. That's still with me.
I was in Siggy's Rock too.
I know, totally drunk, calling me every time. So, this was an interesting effect with that vampire face. What's coming now also with the young girl, and
And originally,
it's a Technicolor idea, and it's a little
Yeah.
like you saw a lot of the rings where they're getting greedy if they want the ring, and this is basically a similar effect. And I like it that only vampires see in other vampires. They can see what another vampire is, and normal humans don't know that. So, and we have a mixed up society where everybody is scared because everybody else could be a vampire.
and originally, this scene was written with an old woman, and I just didn't think biting the old woman was
No.
really hot
this
enough.
was the way to go.
So
Yeah.
I suggested a prostitute, and
Here she
you know
is.
that's the wonderful thing about the vampires is that in the sensuality with taking the blood and someone's life force, it can be male, female, 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 male, male. Genders don't matter, so I find that
And she had actually great
intriguing.
eyes.
She did,
This
yeah.
woman,
Yeah.
this woman looks absolutely great. But my proposal was you buy Geraldine Chaplin, but you refused to do it. And so we brought up that hot chick, basically. But here, Geraldine Chaplin, this Sean got her in the movie, and I think it's great because she has that classical attitude, starting with Dr. Zhivago and all that movies she did, and as a fortune teller, if you have there a weak actress or an actress where you don't believe that kind of over the top attitude, then this part would be a disaster. But I think it's actually great that we have Geraldine Chaplin for this.
She gives a lot of information to the story, and you're captivated by it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This saved our 2.5 minutes opening crawl this time. What we used in Alone in the Dark, but I promise next time I will do a 5 minutes opening crawl. Everything in right.
But again, well used flashbacks here, and that effect's very
That's
cool.
very cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doug Gotti and the visual effects guys did great work.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really did.
They're going to do their own commentary.
Are they?
Because well, there's so much stuff to talk about in what they did.
So listen to the rest of ours, and then you can go back and watch the thing again with the visual effects guys.
Yeah, and they tell you how they copied all that shots out of other movies.
And all the creative ideas were ours.
Absolutely. I,
If
as
they
a
were.
director, personally said that this card should morph into Kagan. The whole thing in Romania, like from the strategy, I mentioned it, like to use more Romanian actors, to use more Romanian crew, felt a little apart in the preparation time, and we had to bring way more people in, hair, makeup, props, more people in. We planned basically. So the real asset to go to Eastern Europe to shoot there and to save money is not. I would say the advantage to go to Romania is only there to shoot in the original places. For example,
The
Wesley
locations.
Snipes did a movie same time in Bucharest, and they fly 80 people in to Bucharest to shoot a movie there because it's so cheap to rent the street or something. But what is that gaining? So I think finally to shoot in Eastern Europe, you save only money if you use that original locations you don't find somewhere else. And as a resume about like shooting in Romania, yes or not. And this, like for example, this castle, it's unbelievable. Or this was an old theater in Bucharest we rented, where we did this scene.
This was, there was a beer hall, and this
right
was
next
the
door.
cultural center that they built for the workers from the beer place.
Yeah.
So that they made the
What?
beer. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a
But-
big
Wow.
beer.
I remember the beer garden next
Well,
door.
well, it was beer garden, but then there was a distillery or whatever they.
brewery.
Oh,
brewery.
that's right.
And this
Yeah.
whole
Oh,
building
it's
was just
stunk.
for the workers.
Yeah, and it's unbelievable.
It's
it looks
amazing.
like a palace.
And also, it was right. Well, it was right
See,
across
Sean,
from
Sean,
Ceausescu's palace.
Look, that's me.
Yeah, your double looks pretty good.
That's me.
That is Will.
yeah.
That is
I
Will.
did all that stuff. The double only did one shot, and he shouldn't have even had to do it.
No,
It's-
you looked good on the horse. I told you that.
Thanks.
Here's great to see what DI means, like coloring the background in a different way, how
that
it was
that
shot.
was next to that tie there was next to the castle,
Mm-hmm.
to Kagan's castle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where were we there? Honadora?
Honadora, yeah.
And Dan Clark, one of also producer and line producer of the movie, he did great helicopter shots here. During we shot other stuffs, he was out with the stunt doubles in the mountains and did.
Every movie we do, he finds reasons to go on
To get a
helicopter.
helicopter.
He's a big helicopter fan.
We
My
should
next
get him one
movie's
for his
title
birthday.
is The Basement. And then let's see if he finds
We
any
did a
reason to
helicopter
do a
shot.
helicopter trick.
The basement.
See,
That was a crazy, crazy stallion of a horse.
that was-
Yeah.
But we wouldn't be able to get that shot if Kristana couldn't ride.
And 1 second, the poles here, right? The 2 poles.
What?
The stone
Pause.
poles. The top of the... No, don't pause.
Oh.
No. These are CGI poles. Because they forgot something
What are you
to
talking about?
prep.
Poles?
Paul's?
Where she's riding, that stone...
Oh, the
like
pole, like
oh.
the
the
uh,
pole.
poles.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
poles.
And because
What?
we basically...
I guess there's a wall with.
So
like
I wanna only mention it, like you're right up. This was a very, very expensive shot because we missed to cover that pole. We had to CGI the whole thing.
Why does he need a pole?
continuity.
Oh, was there one from before?
And this is Rocky,
Rocky Taylor
who
Rocky.
was our stunt coordinator.
from
Who
England.
used to double Sean Connery, and he
Yeah.
still looks a bit like him.
And
Yeah.
we did Roger Moore too, and a whole bunch of stories.
Yeah.
I like that move.
Yeah.
See how he put his hand out like
No,
that?
he's
That was
good.
all Rocky.
That was all.
Nobody told him to do that. He wanted to put right hand out and then left hand out, and he did a great job.
So this scene was shot
He told me
inside
that.
the Fagaras monastery.
And that food was better than our catering.
Did we have catering with it?
Not really.
I thought we shipped stuff in from Vancouver.
Did you see David Dowling? He's the props master. He was props master on this and also on Dungeon Siege right now. At craft service right now in Dungeon Siege, he's got a picture and it says Crafty in Romania, and there's David standing there, and it's just like an open table, an empty table. It's great. You
And an
have to see it.
espresso machine in the background.
Yeah.
The coffee was spectacular.
This we shot in Fagaras, in a real monastery, and this is Udo Kier. Everybody knows him from Blade, for example, or My Own Private Idaho, and Dogville, and all the Lars von Trier movies. And he's a friend of mine. He plays the regal monk, and he came in also to Romania for not so much money. And this is a studio set, and here's our hammer boy, the prison, like the guard
boy?
of that
Rock.
the rock.
Rock, I
Yeah.
think we call them. Yeah.
Actually, he is the stunt double of the Rock in real life.
Yeah.
And
Who is it under there?
no, but what's the name from him?
It's Esteban.
Oh, it's Esteban's in there?
Esteban.
Yeah. And
Esteban had an interesting time at one of the clubs.
He's a huge man.
yeah.
We discovered hard to remove.
Yes.
Nicest guy though. He's awesome.
Oh, isn't he?
I thought this was awesome.
I like
It's
that
a
scene
really cool
also,
scene.
and I think it's creepy, and it's the only real fantasy kind of thing
Yeah.
because he's an unreal figure basically. So, but I personally like how he looks like and what he's doing, and it's more dangerous as to have a normal human being guarding that,
Oh,
that thing.
that's awesome.
One
That's
of the
awesome.
Ittenbach effects.
Yeah.
The interesting thing with Olaf is that because he's also a filmmaker, so he has his own rhythm basically, and is not used to work as a prosthetic blood unit for another director. So it was not, let's say, timing wise or communication wise, sometimes not so easy. But I think finally he's able to do a lot of stuff for
Nice.
a low price. And this is also CGI. This is the eye room built by Jim Stewart, our production designer, and he did also there a great job under really hard circumstances in Romania. He prepared all the outside locations and the studio locations, I think, very, very effective and good. And there's a really cool scene to get that
I
first
think it's
talisman.
like my Indiana Joan moment.
Yeah.
Was
But
it
shooting
dangerous?
it, there's nothing there.
What?
Was it dangerous? With all the
So dangerous.
There's all the blades in between. Yeah?
This is good.
Yeah.
Jim Stewart and his team worked 7 days a week.
Yeah.
15 hours a day just to get all this stuff together.
We shot this on my birthday.
Did you?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Dangling from that thing.
This is one of our last days.
That's how you want to spend your birthday.
No, I think it's your last day of the shoot, huh?
This was the
One
last
of the-
day.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the last day,
Yeah.
That high angle shot
Which
was
I
the
think was
last
my
shot.
birthday, yeah.
Was the last shot of the whole movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it took forever and you were...
Yeah, we saw how we do
We
that
had lots
morphing
of conversations
the
about
eye.
how
Yeah.
this would work.
And this is another proposal from Doug and Christopher Elke and his team, and it's it's a great idea to show that morphing of the eye this way, and not like grabbing her eye. Like early storyboards were showing like she grabs her eye
And took
out
it
of her
Oh,
head,
God.
like really bloody, and puts the other eye in, and it would look silly. And
So the whole thing in the water was that it was meant to no vampire could get in there because the water in the story kills the vampires. So now that she has the eye,
yeah,
she's got the extra strength to withstand the water. Talking about you as if you're not here now, Christina. But
Third person.
the guy behind Udo Kier is Ho Sung Park. He played. He was in Drunken Master, for example, with Jackie Chan, and he played in Alone in the Dark. Agent
Marco?
Marco.
He fell in that spikes in Alone in the Dark, and
He's a great martial artist.
yeah, great martial
Awesome.
artist, good friend, and he came over there and helped also out for like
Fight
not a lot of
coordinating?
money.
Yeah, he's very talented.
Of course, double as that what Will Sanderson got for the movie, but still not
That's
a lot
the
of
truth.
money.
Will did it to work with Kristana, who he grew up
for
watching.
the experience.
Yeah.
You
But
know.
Will had free food in the Centralville.
Yeah, this is
And
what
this
this
was
is what
basically-
justified in Uwe's mind.
He ate
Everything
from
was
this
justified.
point on every day like
Yeah.
50 grease salads and burgers and all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff, room service,
It
pizza.
justified all the everything, and that I had free room service. So that was
You
I
did?
should be thankful.
This was his bonus he got. And it was interesting. The first day I came to Bucharest, Joey Seta, our production coordinator, told me I cannot stay in the Centralville because I have a dog with me. And then they put me in an apartment.
Above McDonald's.
No, this was the second apartment.
okay.
The first apartment, they drove me in a part of the city there was no light anymore in the whole part. And the driver gave me the key. I came in late, so it was dark already. And the whole building, there was no light in the floors and broken windows. And he said, your apartment is in the third floor. So I walked up and tried to get the key in. And in that apartment because I couldn't reach anybody, and so I slept the first night in that apartment.
Oh my god.
And I was flipping out the next day on Joey. How is it possible that I stay in an apartment like this? So she said, I have another.
Because that was the best one they had to offer.
Yeah, and she said, I have another apartment for you. And then the driver drove me to another apartment. This was above a McDonald's restaurant. And the door, the main door to the house was nobody, I couldn't open it. So the driver dropped me there with my dog and my bag. I was standing in front of that door, and the key didn't work. So this was a door you have to like shake 50 times back and forth to get the door
We should
open.
talk about the movie.
Yeah, right. It's a good story.
Look
so
at
and
that.
I did,
That's the money shot.
yeah, and I couldn't open that door. Finally, a security guy from McDonald's broke the door that I can go in my apartment.
my
So I slept in
God.
that apartment also a day. And then day number 3, I called the Centralville guys and I said, 60 crew members will move away out of Centralville if I don't get an apartment with my dog. And then I got an apartment. So, this,
And back to the movie.
yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Will killed Rocky.
There's Esteban again. as
This is
another part.
Esteban, basically, the guy.
Oh.
And, we have
Kristana,
more
that
of
looks
them.
like it hurt.
I love those unsuspecting Olaf shots.
Yeah.
Yes.
Never quite knew what was gonna bleed all over you.
We will have an NC-17 DVD special cut, gore cut coming up because we have like 15, 20 gore effects more like this. What
'Cause
with
you-
your
you
with
can't
the
get
singing
enough of that.
in the eye,
No.
and but this scene's taking you out of the movie a little. This is the reason they are not in the R-rated cut, but it will be a special edition with more body parts flying around and arrows in the faces and all this kind of stuff. People cut in half. And this scene here,
Oh, this is where did Will get? No,
What's
did
this?
Matt
Also-
get hit, or did he hit somebody here?
No, I
Exactly.
don't know. Matt's
Exactly.
becoming a better swordsman.
Matt
that's
was
fine.
great.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was something here where we hit a stuntman in the head. I think
yeah,
one of the American guys.
he was
got-
hurt. This
yeah.
was there, yeah. And he is a death of
Will, you're
Booker
killing
T.
all the good guys.
They're bad.
Yeah, this is Esteban. He played also in Triple X, a guy against Vin Diesel.
Look at how fast I'm running.
Yeah, really in a hurry. Going back to Kagan's castle. So, but here Matt is quite good. The interesting here was in Fagaras in that inner field in the monastery. The last day of the shoot was pissing rain there, and we couldn't get the scene basically together to match it all, because it was like, we don't see it here. We cut it around. We did a small tent on top and everything. And one day later,
No, the next day. We
next
finished
day
at 6 in the morning,
Yeah.
and at 9 in the morning
was a wedding.
was a wedding.
And it was a completely mess. They told us we have to stop shooting at 3 o'clock in the night because they have to do the wedding preparations. So we stopped at 6 o'clock, and they didn't have time to do the wedding. And the whole crew was in the hotel in Brasov, but I actually stayed in a small pension, and Will also
was great.
directly on the side of the monastery. So in the next morning I went for jogging, and I saw actually the bride and everybody else
With the mud.
in the mud, walking in the mud to their wedding, and I walked in that room, and the room was completely messed up from our fight. So the whole wedding was like, there was only a few wooden tables with benches, and it
blood on
was
the
the
walls.
saddest day of her life, maybe. And but the bride was really fat and ugly, and I have to say, I gave the guy a tip, like, run away before you go here in real trouble. So
I guess I didn't miss much.
this was a 16 years old girl. She came out of the, she was actually in the casting, not bad, and she was one of the youngest casting people coming in, and so we picked her for that part. And here we see that Kagan
Did you pay
needs
for
also
her
some
room
blood.
service also? Is that how you paid her?
No, she gets like a normal Romanian actress gets like $100 a day, and like a driver in Romania gets €60, like it's like 80 US per week. So that shows how cheap it is in Romania. But
We had like 60 drivers.
it's still, if yeah, I know, but if you fly 80 people in, and everybody gets a flight, hotel per diem, it's adding up also. And if you have like double crew with Romanian, because they cannot do the job, so then it's not so.
This place was the private chapel, right?
Yeah,
And look at what we do inside.
I know.
This is
was
one of my favorites.
This is a beautiful location, though.
yeah. Will was requesting a lighter rain for that scene, so we
Yeah.
tried to get a.
I just started kicking him.
s-
But that was Kristana he was carrying.
It was
Yeah,
actually
that
Christina,
it was.
yeah.
We all know that she has 100 kilogram. It was a big workout.
It's all
for
muscle.
her. I know. So.
Were
But
those
see,
supposed-
again, I love that quality.
Yeah, these are CGI errors.
I like the CGI.
This is
women
my
here.
favorite scene of the movie because I was a stand-in for Meatloaf for like 2.5 hours. And it was great that Meatloaf came in also to do that.
Might add that was my idea.
Yeah, it's the same manager.
Was it really?
Huh? The same agent.
Yeah, we have the same manager, and we've been trying to get this Leonid, this kind of Hugh Hefner of
Oh,
vampires.
that's right.
And,
Yeah.
and I just thought, what about he would be great, Meatloaf. I love this scene because it's just so completely wrong. It's
Look,
so
it's a
wrong.
vampire bar. Nobody did that so far.
No.
I like it. that they kill people and getting the blood, like
They drain them.
Having
yeah,
orgies.
Bloody
and-
Mary somewhere.
Bloody
From
Mary.
somewhere. So, and that girls, they were all like $150 a day, and they were all hiding in a wagon with the guy who had that girls under control, basically.
What?
Yeah, there was like we booked that girls from a special
Weren't
guy.
they,
A
And
special
I think
guy?
there were maybe hookers or something.
no, it was organized. Was there not some organized crime as far as
Yeah.
owning the women?
Yeah, it was like a little tricky.
Little tricky.
You're missing a really great performance here too. It's just,
Yeah.
We shouldn't be talking about other stuff.
And in that scene, inside the basement now, and if we go into that other room, there are a lot of my German investors playing extras.
They're coming up here.
They come, they're coming up, and they were really excited to play in that scene extras.
Were they some of the naked ones?
He didn't tell me he was going to do this, by the way, and this was really embarrassing, and I got really bashful.
Yeah, and I had like the kind of perspective from the floor looking up.
This is what you're looking at right there.
Yep. Meatloaf was great to work with. What a really neat guy. Except for when he tried to stand and got caught up in his cape and fell and broke his fall with his elbow on my pelvic bone.
Yeah, these are all German investors. And, totally drunk.
They were some of the best extras, though.
Absolutely. They were actually better as the Romanian extras because they understood a little what they should do.
these people here were the Germans?
Yeah. They were really, really into it. And
another way of saving money. Just get the people giving you money
Yeah.
to save you money.
yeah, and they don't getting paid as extras.
Right.
So, they're all good
What about the
scenes.
Romanian Extras Union? Should you really be saying this?
What? Romanian extras?
There's no.
I don't understand.
Forget it.
I don't know if they're going to be watching the behind-the-scenes commentary.
He spits out a
Yeah.
part. This was a Mike Tyson shot.
Exactly. Exactly.
Little homage.
Yeah.
I like that stab.
Yeah, I like it also. It's so
Yeah.
ugly.
Unfortunately,
in a
he
way.
missed where the pad was.
Yeah. And it hurt.
Hey, look at
Yes,
Esteban again.
Esteban again. This time shaved. So we used everybody
he's
3
in,
or
like,
4 times.
wow.
Yeah. But here, Matt looks like a real action hero.
Yeah, Matt's sword work was good.
Yeah. Also from Dave from the props with that wrist
The
crossbow. It's
Yeah.
very good. It's also interesting detail. Also the brimstone medallion. So Dave did a great job there also.
With no time.
Yeah. Now it's an old strategy to kill vampires with the light. So also it must be in a movie, and it comes up here. And it was not easy to do that with that light beams on set and later in post, and he fell in pieces. And but
That's the
also-
third time
That's good,
Esteban died. Also,
Yeah,
That's not a bad death for Meatloaf there.
That is a good death.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Some of my best work right here.
I'd like to point out that Kristana also, even though she's covered and we can't see her, she was always there for us.
Thank you. That's
That's
I
not a
was.
photo double.
No.
and all the actors, I have to say, like under these hard circumstances, with the shitty honey wagons, with the bad food, with the not good hotels, everybody stayed on track. And in the beginning of the movie, Michael Madsen was in a lot of times, let's say, he was in the jet lag, he came out of another movie, he had huge problems to find into that movie, and to find, like, we had problems with him in the beginning. But during the movie, he went more and more better and better and more cooperative. And in the end, everything was fine. So, and all the other actors were from the beginning on totally motivated, and everybody did a great job. What was not easy under this circumstances.
No, you're right.
Yeah. So. And the thing with Kingsley, I'm really happy that he is Kagan, and we talked about the part before, and because a few people thought, why he's so inactive. But I think this is the main point. If you are like 400 or 500 years old, why you should be upset about anything? You stay like you are on top of the game, and you are like over it already. Even if you die at one point, you would not freaking out in a major way.
It's more powerful too.
Yeah, it's more powerful. What I like. And here, this was shot on a lake nearby Media Pro Studios. We built it as the entrance of that Brimstone Fortress, what we saw before in the fog, in that wider shot in the fog. The rest was CGI. And we shot also the boat driving in a water tank, and one of the few scenes I absolutely not like because the water is not floating in
Moving
a way.
enough.
Yeah. And we fixed a lot of stuff with the fog, basically. Michael was always playing with his sword.
I'm just thinking that he always had it out.
Yeah, putting it back and forth, left hand, right hand. So, look, it's like his talisman.
Mm-hmm.
See, I never thought your mother got raped. I thought just killed.
No,
That's how
That's
she
how
became
she
the-
That's
came
how
to
I
be.
I thought
came
that. I
about.
thought they had a previous relationship.
Well,
This
they
is
did.
Daniela Nan.
he comes back looking for her.
but I don't see what
Mom
the rape
hides her.
is.
He kills Mom.
So this
She
Daniela
witnesses
Nan,
the
she's a
kill.
I don't see the
Romanian
rape.
star. She plays in the stage and the theater,
She was good.
and I think she was the best actress we had.
See, that's
Yeah.
young
From
Kristana right there, Will.
Yeah.
Young Kristana hiding.
I agree, but
We never see the rape. No.
and we assume that she was born because of a rape. Is this the idea?
I was. She
I
was
thought-
forced upon.
I thought that they had a nice relationship earlier,
It was like
and
romantic.
then it just
Kagan and the
Wrong
Mother?
movie, Will.
yeah.
Good that you sing that.
There's that good line that Geraldine says something about it's a great line. The union of a vampire and a human is not always a. I can't remember. I'll have to remember this at one point tonight now.
A harmonious one.
Something like that.
Hmm.
She's got a good line in your little
Yeah.
scene there.
Here also good idea to do that old pergament color, like the
Sepia.
sepia.
Yes.
and to also the lights.
It's like in House of the
Diffused
Dead
lights.
with Castillo.
Absolutely.
Sepia.
Yeah.
It was a great.
Yeah, bring me my cappuccino. See the funny version of House of the Dead soon. So,
Aiden
Come
will like
closer.
it. Aiden will love that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We started the same day in the theater as the second part of House of the Dead. So we destroy Lionsgate. But he also likes that
It's
she
great.
sucking the blood out, and you have that movement in the skin. A lot of detail work, and the CGI a lot of times is way heavier, way harder to do with that slightly things, like the
The subtle effects.
subtle effects. Yeah, it's harder as to do a monster or a spaceship in the background.
Because you have to lay it over top of the facial features.
Yeah, and the slow way, like here, what Vladimir is doing, is like I like it because it brings that in older, like 300 years ago, everybody, the time was slower. Let's say it this way, and to tell the story in that more classical way, and not the hectical kind of video clip aesthetic, and I think it was a good step. And in that matter, Michael Madsen's way to do Vladimir,
Was less hectical.
yeah, makes sense, because he is slow. Like everything what he's doing, he's slow. He killed the guy in Reservoir Dogs slow, and
He's sharpening his sword slow.
yeah, absolutely. And so this is a thing, and it actually turns out very good. So
But he doesn't think slow. He's sharp.
yeah, so you shouldn't hire Michael Madsen if you want Robin Williams.
That's a good point. That's a really
point.
good and
You
insightful
can come
point.
in trouble if you have like 15 pages of monologue because he's a radio host. But
So for Good Morning Vietnam,
Yeah, that's
yeah, for
You're
use
you,
Robin.
perfect.
Yeah.
Don't use Michael.
Yeah, but for
Okay.
this kind of stuff, I think it's very good.
But if Robin Williams played Vladimir, how would that have been?
Different movie.
Look, be different.
This is inside Honodora Castle.
Yeah,
That was an amazing castle.
It
Yeah.
was.
That's not nice.
And your training begins now.
yeah. No, another training sequence. I'm happy that I
So
never
tall.
happy that I never did a training sequence with Tara Reid in Alone in the Dark. Getting guns loaded in slow motion to kill the xenomorphs. Yeah, look. Her jacket we bought in Best Buy.
Best Buy is an electronics store.
That is the reason. They had only one-time jackets.
That's Chris.
Chris, yeah.
Yeah, Chris.
That was
also
Matt's
from-
Torres.
stunt double.
Yeah, another guy in from America.
He's a good actor also.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
And wasn't Chris
It's
and
the Brimstone Castle again.
somebody wasn't
This cast is
doubles
made
from
by
BloodRayne.
Upstart Animation
forget it.
in Germany. We did always kind of a few CGI shots also in Germany. Upstart, Electrofilm, and we have always like various vendors, but the head company was Technicolor Alpha Cine. And here we are with a training sequence.
Oh, it was you, huh?
She's
Chrisana?
still looking.
It was
Is
all
that you?
Kristana.
Now we remember Amanda because she got the swords from her. With that candle, this was a pain in the ass to shoot.
We did it all CGI.
It wasn't a pain in the ass to
Yeah, but
shoot.
we did it in real, and then it didn't work,
Yeah.
and then
No.
we did it in CGI.
Yeah.
So now you get your new dress in the smallest package ever made for a dress. The
Maybe it's like lingerie.
Yeah, including shoes, everything in the same. Yeah.
Is this where it gets romantic?
No.
But the candles are there. We're leading there. You got to take your time, Will.
But this is a good scene from Matt Davis. It's my favorite scene from him because it's for the audience also a big thing that he tells her like, "Don't be so whiny. My parents were also killed," and this from Vladimir was a good story point in the script. If you hear a man breathing in the commentary,
It's
it's
Will.
Will Sanders, and he
Do I
has
breathe
asthma.
loud?
Yes.
Yes, he has asthma problems.
You know what?
Because he has
seriously-
he's the only one with headphones on. Yeah.
I think I should
Christian.
get. No, Christiana's good. I think I should
I
get
don't hear the movie
Go
again
to the
because I know
doctor.
every line.
because I can't breathe through the nose ever.
This was the official retirement of Will Sanderson as an actor right now.
Yeah.
This is a scene where like Ben Kingsley is meditation,
Meditating.
and we solved the problem with the wig, because to show that he's actually using a wig and that the people don't tell us later how cheap looked the wig or something. Yeah, it's like showing it this way.
It was supposed to be cheap because it's a wig.
So what's the deal
Yeah.
here, Uwe? He's meditating and seeing all this, right? Or she's dreaming this?
No, she's
Or
dreaming
they're both
it.
connected somehow.
But they are connected.
Yeah.
And
we feel
yeah.
each other.
And now BloodRayne has also
A human side.
sexual hunger, basically. And Matt Davis is the only guy around.
Isn't that convenient? No, but it's also it's a bloodlust. It was much deeper because in order to justify it, I had to think like, well, is she really contemplating like, is this a ploy? Is she going to, get him to a weakened state where she can then just take his life force, or does she have this other carnal pleasure, or desire, or both? Because she is half human too. Or do we just want to insert a hot sex scene in the middle of the movie? It was one of the three.
No, it was. I think it was an important scene, and
And you guys
Matt
were both.
was basically very nervous. His girlfriend was on my side in the video village, and I was online via satellite to all my fans with the whole scene.
Oh.
But and then Kristana was
Besoffen.
yeah, you besoffen also.
Was what?
No, besoffen means drunk, but it was bullshit.
Oh.
No, I think it was a decision to do it as a hot sex scene and not pussy out like a lot of North American actresses.
I like the rawness again
Yeah,
of it,
and on
and
the
really
bars, it's
freaking going
great.
for. And this was the first time because the bar kept slamming against it, but it
Look
actually
here, we
worked.
covered
It worked
like
well, it helped.
the genitals are covered with the table. Was a perfect
But
shot.
and there's also something vulnerable about it because most love scenes you see with women, they're always done up and looking fabulous, and she's in a weakened state, and I had dirt on my face.
No, this is
Which I like.
You're in
And you're
charge.
demanding.
Yeah.
You take him. What
Yeah.
BloodRayne is doing in the game also. So, and
Matt might have had a little bit of an issue with that, but
yeah, he was scared.
Lotta.
The new costume for BloodRayne?
What?
The new costume for BloodRayne?
Yeah.
I like the high pants.
They're coming back, Will.
No, it's a leather costume, and we saw, for example, in the video game she has a hot latex costume on.
Latex is always better.
Yeah, this is what you think, but Catwoman had also a latex costume on, and Elektra also, and I'm not a big fan of that two movies. So,
and
Catwoman?
it's also contemporary.
yeah, and it's a period piece, and I think this costume actually fits into that movie. If she would sit there in a Christian Dior special
Latex
hot
suit.
super costume, it would take you a little out of the character. So this small boy was actually the son of the costume designer Carla Bear, and he dies later. I can say it right now.
And that was one of the funniest death scenes I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and here is Michelle Rodriguez's body double writing that letter. This is shot also in Canada later to prepare that scene where she brings that message to her father.
Billy Zane.
Yeah. So, and here you see that it's a real lake, but that the water is so it looks like a pool or something. It's a little annoying for me. This is Darren Shalavi as that priest. He plays. He's a martial artist also and an actor. He played the lead in a few Olaf Ittenbach movies like Beyond the Limits and other movies. He's also in Dungeon Siege, and he was also in Romania helping us out. And all that thralls are extras from Bucharest, and if they stay in front of Ceausescu or in front of a film crew, they give a shit as long as they're getting $10 per day. So. This is shot in Hunadora in the big dining room atmosphere, and the scene shows a little like the relationship between the two, like Catherine and Rain recognize at this point that what Catherine is about.
This wasn't the Hotel Chinches.
Yeah, the good thing is, what I think with the character of Catherine is that it's not a clear, one-dimensional bad character. She's in between, and she thinks Brimstone is lost. This is the reason she tries basically that Kagan gets not the upper hand in turning into her father, because she thinks even if her father is a vampire, it's still better if he wins the war compared to Domistyr and Kagan. So Rain has a different target. She wants to destroy Kagan, and she don't care about Billy Zane's character right now. And I have to say that Kristana is the best choice possible for Rain, because she's like a strong character, like a bigger than life character, like good horse rider, sword fighter, and rough what is good for this kind of for this character, this kind of movie. So a real hero, and not like, for example, whatever Jennifer Garner or whatever is like. She's not a lead. She's the girlfriend of a lead in reality, and she cannot carry you through a movie like this. So
we'll be casting Jennifer soon.
No, forget it.
No, Kristana, though, for this role, sitting here with us, but she has a sexuality. She's beautiful. She's strong. She's powerful. So it was perfect for the film.
Yeah, this scene I love because it's so funny. It's one of the few funny moments in that movie where, like, don't throw things at me. Billy Zane make that up, and I think it's a great scene to bring a little different tone in the movie. What we have in the Meatloaf scene, and we have it in the Billy Zane scene. And in the close-ups of Will, you can actually see that his ears are in the wrong position. Look, they are too low on your head. Your ears are too low on your head in general. It's a genetic problem. Sorry about it. The movie was edited by David Richardson, and I think right now about him because he flipped that shot. Like, they come in reality, they came from the other side, and not so. And he's doing always this kind of stuff. And for me, it's the biggest miracle on earth. Why? Because why they go from left to right now instead of right to left? How we shot it, I don't see any, let's say, a reason to do it. But these are the miracles of editing. Why we do that? Because there's no connection scene right now. He goes away, and if the next scene is somewhere else.
And that's where Madsen tried to kiss Michelle.
Yeah, we shot that 15 times, and he kissed her like long, short, on the mouth, on her.
Michelle told me last night, she's like, if Uwe used that shot in the movie, that was it.
Yeah. And here you see actually my girlfriend on the right corner
Christina.
of the frame.
Christina in the purple dress.
And Karina, another German girl. She visited the set, and
Here comes Michael Pare. There
Yeah.
we are.
Sanctimony, Blackwoods, Heart of America.
Well, Eddie and the Cruisers.
Yeah, and Philadelphia Experiment. A good friend, a good actor, and too bad that we have only this small part for him, but I think he was good in that part.
That was real meat on the walls there.
Was
Yeah.
it really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And it was there for a couple of days before we got there.
Great.
Yeah.
Here comes the army. With
The
Will
leader
standing
of the
proudly.
Black Army. Yeah.
Where do we find her pink top?
And we thought Michelle Rodriguez is not enough. We need another actor from Jersey. So, Michael Parecki.
Is black powder really dangerous?
if you burn it and you throw it,
Just
absolutely.
black.
Yeah.
Not gunpowder, black powder.
My favorite shot of the movie is that he actually steals that bottle. That Janko is a good friend
No,
of the
he says,
Brimstone
Janko
Society.
says, take whatever you want.
Yeah, but he puts it in his jacket, like hiding it. So it's unbelievable. But I thought it was so funny that I used it in the shot. And now she gets her real sword, what is more like the style of the
Yes! This is Thaddeus.
game.
There's Brian.
Here's Brian Knight. So
Brian's our first AD.
yeah.
And one of our actors.
He really hurt his stomach here.
That's just acting.
Oh.
And he was almost scheduled to play the Meatloaf part if Meatloaf would pass, and nobody.
You actually called me suggesting that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Because
That was with the naked women, right?
And yeah.
But Brian was more
And I-
expensive
I
than
love
Meatloaf,
Brian,
so
but-
had to go with
yeah,
Meatloaf.
we went only that one night with Brian, and we needed him as a first AD. And Meatloaf is a name actor, and I thought about I get free tickets for his next concert if I hire him. What actually happens then?
I like the way it goes back and shows it.
Yeah.
The editing really is great.
During they talk, he dies in the background.
I thought I saw a tear from Michael there.
Yeah, he was really crying on set.
Not for reasons that pertain to the story.
It had nothing to do with Sadius, but look.
Or maybe I'll at least spit on him. One of the two.
This comes
Okay,
later.
quiet now.
Comes
This is
later.
my death scene.
Sorry.
Oh,
This is Adrian
Adrian
McQueen.
That's right.
Yeah, one of our favorite actresses, and
Who was she?
She's a German actress,
actress.
who has since moved to LA.
Yeah.
A friend of Uwe's.
Oh.
Not really. But I know her, and I always give like newcomers a small
Sure.
chance to appear in the movie.
She was with us about 3 weeks for that scene.
3 weeks. It
I
was
know,
like,
but
it was
she
like
got
2
2
months.
months, maybe.
no payment for it, so I personally don't care.
Adrian,
There's
don't
my-
listen to anything of the they say.
There's my grave.
Oh.
Yeah, Brian.
Did you
Yeah,
put
she
that in?
goes.
The beginning and end of my career.
Oh. It was a good way to go.
And here Matt Davis can barely stand up. So this was the evening he had a little party going on. With
In the
Look, you see
trail.
his face. He was a little
He
drunk.
did. I was like, all you have to do is just get up. And he's like, where do I have to go? Run off. And I'm there. I will catch you.
Yeah.
He was also here too?
No. This is a different night.
The problem is if you go for a few drinks with Michael Madsen and you are not used to it, you will die then. And Michael drinks you under the table.
Oh, completely.
And so I came back to the hotel one night at 6:30 after a night shoot, and both were staying there with a bottle of Johnny Walker. And I drank also one out of the bottle with the two guys, and they were still talking about Bush politics and
Politics,
everything
Yeah,
at 6:30 in
On
the
top of
morning.
the mountain in that little
Yeah.
resort.
Yeah, and
Hey, didn't Ron run into Michael on the way over
Honodora.
to Romania? Ron Perlman.
yeah, Ron Perlman was in the airplane with Michael.
With Michael,
Madsen.
yeah.
On the
And,
way.
on the way to Romania, and he saved him from sending back to send him back to America. But this was only the big problem in the beginning. The rest was fine. But this scene we shot on a different day. I think it's a good it's a good scene. Like everybody dies, I meet.
Yeah, it's not the cleanest looking lake.
No.
I nailed my leg really badly on this shot, doing hit something.
It's a big CGI castle.
Did they really bury you, Brian?
They did.
They did.
This looks
Look,
so creepy.
Yeah, and this guy in the foreground actually lost his guts in the shot. They're falling apart. This was also good work from Olaf here with the prosthetic wounds of the people.
The wounds were good.
Yeah.
We
And
took a lot of the limbs away, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was way worse than that.
Yeah, we had to tone it down quite a bit.
So and this was a very expensive CGI shot now from the dead child because he was moving.
He kept laughing every time I touched his
laughing,
face.
and he was not able to freeze frame his face
Robert.
for 2.5 seconds.
And here's Horst Hermann.
Yeah, a good friend of mine from Germany. He is on your side, on the right corner.
There he
Yeah,
is.
Yeah, that's
Totally
right.
convincing how he's looking around.
I agree.
Yeah, he's looking around great.
Yeah, look here, you see the guards hanging in the foreground?
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Swigging.
We did the inside of Brimstone Castle. We shot that at Hunadora Castle. And Hunadora is like 7 hours with a car away in the mountains from Bucharest. and you drive in the city. It's all dirty and coal miner city, and then you drive around a few corners and you stand in front of that massive Hunadora castle. What blows you away then at that moment? It's unbelievable. So. Now we're moving to the more finale of the movie.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
The remnants of the cave set.
That's right.
Yeah, this was an interesting build we did in the studios of Media Pro, and with a swimming pool inside.
And this scene wasn't in the original script, was it?
No, it was in the it was in the script, and but we shot that scene also where Domestia arrives at the cave,
That's
and
killer.
comes in and
Sucks.
and tries to stop or forces Michelle to get that talisman out. But I think for the story it was better we picked that scene now that Domestia is still looking and he don't know where it is, and he's not finding Michelle, because it created all kinds of story problems if Domestia would be in that cave, because he has to go back to Brimstone to Kagan's castle for the next scene. So timing wise and for the film logic,
And this was really kind of freaky to swim underneath in this tunnel from one side to the other.
Yeah.
It was a pretty wide tunnel. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
yeah,
Was this actually in that same pool?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
yeah.
Wow.
Just to know that if you go up, if you can't go up, you've got to swim through.
This is cool. I like this, how you can see the blood trail as
Yeah.
she swims away. This is cool.
Yeah.
Michelle was great to work with.
Yeah, no attitude to
No,
totally easy,
Yep.
and
And very willing to make it the best that we could.
Look at the trail of blood. That's great.
Yeah, I like that.
and here's that scene we shot various times. Like it was an accident. That
I
she
know,
went back
I know.
in the water.
I know.
And but actually it's good now, because
Yeah.
it looks like you grab her down and now boom, you break her head and you suck her out and your wound is healing. So this was a reshoot of that wound, and this is also a reshoot.
I love that castle.
Yeah, it's great.
You know they
And
use
the
that for a
bridge
beer
is
commercial.
real.
Have you seen that Budweiser commercial? They use the
Is it the same
$100
castle?
castle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What?
There's a Budweiser commercial that has, it's really cool actually.
I know.
exact
I
same-
shot
that
it. I
shot
got
right there.
$500,000 for it.
Well, they can't have that because we built that gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No, not
Gage.
the gate.
Yeah.
It's an amazing bridge.
And I like it, like what Matt Davis and Michael Madsen like. There's only one way in now, and they do the frontal attack, because with two people they have no chance. And the only thing, it's like,
Well, now we're in.
yeah. So it's not that super. It's more a realistic kind of thing, because in reality you see now, okay, they grab her, maybe they kill her, and our life is senseless without it. So let's try to get in the easiest way, and. It's a thing what I like.
Were these investors as well?
No, this was the guys that played before Robinson Crusoe, who used it.
There's the rib.
This was the whole catering of the day. We put it in, in that box. It came with FedEx.
Where did the rib come from?
Bellier's rib.
Belia's rib. Belia's heart, rib, and eye.
Where did the rib come from, though? Where did we get the rib?
They got it from Rome.
Yeah. Brimstone of Rome
Do you mean
had
where do
the
we
rib.
get the prop?
The
No.
eye was in the where we got the prop
The eye
from
was
the
in the
Bavarian
monastery and
Bavarian.
But there's no
slaughterhouse
like
around
thing
the
about the
corner.
rib. That's only because we have a little thing about the heart.
I like the
there's a
little bit
thing
of
about the-
Romanian you hear in there
Yeah.
when they're counting
yeah.
and
Yeah.
giving them orders.
Yeah.
Here's the attack.
And here's a Romanian special effect guy was not so bad with the explosion.
The explosion was good.
Yeah.
Addy.
Matt with the sword. It's great.
Everybody's name was Addy or Bogdan.
Yeah.
Will
In
took an
Romania,
active
still
part
a
in
lot
that
of
fight.
corruption going on, so you get a lot of stuff very cheap. Like the castle was, I think, $1,000 only, or to rent to the right guy with cash.
And they gave us the keys and said,
Yeah.
"Go ahead."
Like good luck, and this is a good thing. Like
This is my favorite scene
It's
in
a
the
little
movie.
like Wild West, and here he spits him in the face like a. In real, how many times he spit you in the
6
face?
or 7.
For real.
This
So
was one of the more challenging days on set.
Yes,
Yeah.
this wasn't.
Oh yeah, this was a
but
very
it was method
challenging
acting. I basically
day.
told Michael Madsen to spit in your face that you feel it a little better, and
I don't remember it that way.
No.
it was not easy this first shooting day, or the second shooting day.
Day 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Or the 83rd shooting day.
But the scene's working out good now here in the final movie. I think we got some good
Yeah.
stuff done, and the basics were all done in that sequence. The music is done by Henning Lohner, and he's now working the last 6 or 7 years together with Hans Zimmer, and he used the Berlin Film Orchestra to do the big score, like 100-person orchestra, and the sound mix was Wolfgang Herold in Frankfurt, and I think they worked a long time on it, and they did in the end a very good job. And the composer work is really, really big and good, and it drives you forward. Like he used a lot of horns, what I really like, and not like he used also strings, but the horns are driving us through the movie. And like in a movie like Shining, you had also a lot of horns in the score, and it makes you really it gives you an unsecure feeling in your stomach, what you have here also. And I'm very happy with that part, with the CGI part, and with the movie. And we need was 1 year of post-production to finish the movie, and the shooting was, I think, how many weeks was it, Brian? 8?
No, it's more.
No, it's 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Was 10 weeks?
10 or 12 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
10 or 12 weeks.
Oh yeah.
No, actually, no. We started August 8th or 9th and finished October. Yeah, I guess 9 weeks. October 15th or something. 14th.
Yeah, we had a few 6 days weeks in it.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
true.
All the Ben Kingsley scenes were shot in the beginning. Yeah, I think the first 2 or 3 weeks.
Second week.
He's only
3
there for
weeks.
a week and a half, right?
No, it was
3.
2.5
2 weeks.
weeks.
He was
Very-
such a gentleman to work with. I just,
You mean Kingsley?
yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. Learned a lot by just watching and working with him.
Uwe is also a gentleman to work with.
I know.
Beating up yet another Romanian stunt guy.
Yeah. This was a good.
I like that,
like
but you
it
can't.
also.
You got to make sure we hear what he says because I almost lose it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. Yeah, you almost lose what he says. I agree.
Savage. Boom. It's good. Kagan is still defending his daughter, even if you
Yeah.
want to kill her now.
Yeah,
And,
he's got to do it.
yeah.
his way.
This was cool.
Yeah, the whole end fight is very good,
Yeah.
I think, and it's also a masterpiece in editing.
It's very chaotic, which is great.
Yeah. I have to say, like, on top of the whole post-production process is Jonathan Shore, and he did always, in all my movies, a great job in putting it all together, keeping everybody
Olaf.
motivated. Yeah,
There's Olaf
this
with
was
the
Olaf
arrow.
Ittenbar himself, and getting so Jonathan getting then the movie delivered, and was a great work and a lot of work, a lot of stress.
It's not there.
Yeah. So it looks like she has already 2 talisman in herself.
There's Will's fight with Matt.
Yeah. And it shows like what you can do with speed ramps, kind of digital,
Mm-hmm.
slowing down, speeding up, losing frames with the music and so on. And this is like the movie magic you have in all kinds of movies. It's my favorite blood effect coming up, where Rain cuts the throat of
Osa?
no, of the other guy. Coming up now. This will be in the gory version, longer in, like this.
Kofi.
Ugh.
Kofi, yeah. Was not Kofi Annan, the UNO president, but I don't know what the last name was, but cutting his head off.
That was also Michelle's stunt double.
Yeah. His idea is that he has they bite him, he has they grab him, he has no chance, and this is the end of Brimstone.
Can I ask why you slowed it down there? You know, like right when he puts it in,
Yeah.
it slows down.
'Cause
I don't
more
know.
dramatic.
Yeah, it's more. It's like a beat in that battle, where you have like it's over.
Well,
and,
killing one of our heroes.
Yeah.
and I like that moment here. This is great
This
stuff.
is a good
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
This choreography is great.
Where he gets him here and where his prosthetic neck, where it hurts. Will huh?
This actually
Yes.
did hurt, to be honest.
Where on
Yeah,
your
that blood
fingers?
stuff was
No,
never
no.
comfortable.
No,
With
when
the
we
pump?
didn't have the fake neck in there, and he was pushing up against my neck pretty good.
This is
Oh,
your
For the
T3 look.
craft.
Yeah,
I
it was.
recognize it.
Yeah.
It's
If
interesting.
it works, use it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like in a few shots, wider shots, we had to do face replacement.
This was Ben's stunt double.
Yeah, was
was very
visible,
good.
and we put more of the face.
We also
on.
had to change his feet.
Really?
At one point, there's a kick he does, and you could see the bottom of the sole of his shoe with
Oh.
it there
Right.
with a modern tread on it. And when he kicked you, and he froze there, so we had to blur it out, I think.
I love the chanting too. The chanting's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I had that dance background.
Yeah.
That's the best line in the movie. I love that line.
Ungrateful bitch.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Don't piss off Dad.
I like the line from the bartender in the beginning of the movie. You Brimstone people never make a mess out of the place. Even if he was a bad actor, it's still a good line.
Poor
Because
guy.
he just butchered a guy and he shrinks
Good
in
idea,
holy
man.
water. Yeah. This was not easy here, Christina. They pinned you to the ground and not to move
Right.
with the sword. with your
but not
shoulder.
really pinned.
No, I know, but it's tough to
Yeah.
not move that.
Not
And-
move-
and so
yeah,
now you-
that's what it was, yeah.
And you acquire all your power now. Everybody turns into a vampire now to get the power out.
He looks like a demented Easter bunny.
Yeah. And
Not now.
it's also a nice dead effect. And he had to grab the sword out of your shoulder now. This looks
We're
good.
gonna figure out how
Yeah.
we bring him back now for the sequel.
Easily.
No, Billy Zane will be in the sequel, the evil guy. He survived, and he's a vampire.
Kagan's still in the game.
And Billy Zane takes the name of Kagan.
Oh, okay.
The whole ending, how Gwyneth Turner wrote it, also is good because it's not cheesy. We don't have any kind of. She's a lonesome warrior, BloodRayne, in the game and in the end of the movie. And
Yeah, we had
everybody
a
else
long
dies.
discussion about whether or not
He should survive or not, or
you
whatever.
would bite him, and
Yeah, but it's better how it is,
Yeah.
and it's
And it's the side of her humanity, too, knowing that she's got to let him go, and this is her penance in life, is to have to deal with this.
yeah. And I love the next shot, the white shot of the throne room, where she walks alone with the music playing. It's
and all the dead.
yeah, and all the dead people. It's like
Yeah.
a real favorite. Like it's
Eerie stillness.
yeah.
And we shot multiple different endings, too.
Yeah, where you ride away from the castle, but I thought the coolest things because you have now the talisman under control. Nobody knows what
Exactly.
BloodRayne is up to now.
Yep.
Is she turning into evil because she has the talisman? Is she still a hero? Did she want to help the humans in the future or the vampires? Is she taking over Kagan's throne and fights against Billy Zane's character, Eldrick? Or what is she up to? I like it. And we did the close-up shot from your face, also that you smile. In
Yeah,
the
a
end.
few different ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was good for the trailer or for an idea, but I think now that nobody really knows.
Knows,
what's going
yeah.
on
You
with
don't
her,
know what.
yeah, it's the best way
Yeah.
to go, and it's a very disturbing, interesting ending, and this I like. And we omitted all the voiceover out of the movie, what is a good step, so the music can play and the audience must put the picture together. think it's a very good movie.
I do too.
And Brad.
Brad, yeah.
Forgot Brad, who came out on the first day of the shoot to help take over.
Yeah, was too much work for Dan Clark. Also alone.
We had to replace somebody there too.
I know the other guy, the Romanian guy.
Razvan. I'm gonna see all the names. Hold on. Adi,
The Razvan Adi and hey,
Razvan, Adi, and Bogdan.
Brian C. is Thaddeus. Just want to make sure
Yes.
I hammered that home.
Yeah.
What does the C stand for?
Just see.
Okay, during the director's commentary, we had like 6 Starbucks coffees here, and we still don't getting product placement from Starbucks. What is pissing me off is a direct message to Starbucks. Like Sean and I, we alone drink every day for $20 at Starbucks, and they
Well, it's
support
contractual,
Michael
too.
Myers movies, but Michael, what is it? Austin
Moore.
Powers movies.
Oh,
Mike Myers.
Mike
yeah.
Myers
Yeah.
movies, but not our movies, and this is like ridiculous. So
Look at the drivers.
please
Is that the
call
list of all
us
the
and
drivers?
send us
No.
free Starbucks
But you're
buttons.
doing
Stunts.
But you're doing
Yeah, we're gonna have
doing period pieces.
Starbucks
We didn't have
and the
Starbucks
BloodRayne,
in
uh,
70s.
Yeah, we could have had something at Kagan's Castle.
both Joy Seta, we have to thank, because she had a lot of work with
Well,
that
especially
movie.
after you just trashed her about
Yeah, I know, it
getting
doesn't
the
matter.
hotels wrong.
And both
to
Steadicam operators were very good.
Marty and
McNally.
Kai.
Yeah, Kai. They were both very, very good. And the whole camera unit.
Look at
Matthias
there's 3
Neumann
Adrians right there.
as
in,
a DP, like always, did a great job.
Dave
He
Dowling,
did all
Spencer,
my movies.
Darren,
That's right. Matthias has
And
done all
Darren
your
McLean
movies.
as a gaffer, and the key grip Johnny O
and Johnny O.
did a great job. Darren actually carried so much light in that movie like nobody else. Nobody in his whole career he carried so much light, because always if he said to his walkie, "Bring me whatever," it never happened. So he had to run to the truck and bring the light on his own. He had like 15 electricians and nobody worked. So
Suzanne,
Yeah.
hairstylist.
it was a piece of shit. So, but there were a lot of nice people also, but a few people in the crew I will never work again. And,
Well,
There's a few good ones though.
yeah. I don't know what's going on with the animal wrangler Doros, but I cannot mention what he did.
Anne and Suzanne. Oh, Jane.
My driver was really nice.
Here's the drivers.
Oh my gosh.
Every
And we have
person
to
on the
thank
crew
also Romania for the dogs we took. Then Clark
Yeah.
took Sturbe and Kristana Bobby and I Daisy. So we took 3 dogs from the streets.
And Michelle took a cat.
Michelle took a cat.
Precious.
She smuggled
Oh,
it through
and
the
how she
customs
got it through customs
Yeah.
is great.
in her jacket.
Yep.
Tanya.
And yeah, oh God, yeah. And who was Franz Schneider? But I have no idea.
Everybody, but you and I should know most of the people.
Yeah. And Ilana in a script.
There's Warren with Reverend now. He
That's
actually
great.
got ordained before we give him the Reverend credit. Or ordained.
Warren, Reverend Warren. This is funny. And
How
everybody
about
gets
Tommy?
also Germans having
Tommy.
like 8
Oh, there's
listings.
Tommy.
Oh yeah,
Tommy Oberts. Yeah, that he didn't took his dog was really disgusting. Like he had a dog following him everywhere, and he didn't took it. Tommy Oberts get like
Look,
8
Olaf's
credits
names in here
right
is about
now.
9.
Olaf
Yeah, I know. A
also-
lot of these people are
Look
like.
at this. Olaf again.
Said Tommy Oppert, Olaf Ittenbach. I don't know what they
needs
did
his
there.
name in the movie.
Isla
12
did a
times.
great job together with Jonathan Shaw in post production.
And Greg.
And
Look at this. It's like we're at the Oscars now talking.
I'd like to thank. There's Doug Oddie and Christopher and
yeah,
Pete.
the whole crew was really good. And Brian Knight did a good job again.
Brian
and
Knight.
again
Yeah.
for me. So without him, I would maybe make a good movie at
Oh.
one point. But
I'm keeping you down.
so, and I want to thank also all my fans in the internet trashing me every day, and this keeps me up. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, wait till they see this.
They,
And Uwe,
Yeah.
Uwe,
Don't
you
wait
did
till
a
they
great
see
job. We
Yeah, way to go.
Yeah.
Uwe.
Yeah, I know.
Who's your
But-
best?
most
work yet.
likable guy.
No, forget it. All my German movies were better. No, but Heart of America is still my favorite movie.
Oh.
So even after BloodRayne, but BloodRayne is way the best genre movie I did, and I'm very proud, and I'm looking forward to do a second part
too.
of BloodRayne. It's an absolutely good franchise.
Absolutely.
And an unusual franchise. And I think we should keep doing BloodRayne movies. Absolutely.
Well,
Yep.
if we gross the right amount
What's
of
your
money,
next movie
we'll be
that you're
doing
working on,
BloodRayne
Uva?
2.
The next movie. I don't know.
Doing Dungeon Siege, aren't you?
Yeah, Dungeon Siege right now in the Name of the King. Where Kristana is also one of the stars, so it will be an interesting movie you see in cable TVs. And so, I don't know what other things I want to thank.
And
The Hessen
scene.
Invest film. I want to thanks for the subsidies we got and various other people's listed. And
We talked through that.
fuck this.
I don't even know what happy people do.
Just
He's on the longest end credits ever.
There's our gypsy band.
Media Pro Pictures, actually, they have good constructions, a studio in Romania, but they are also corrupt, like all the studios. They have a huge kickback
I
system.
thought we almost got through this
So,
without,
yeah.
Without the lawsuit?
yeah, without the lawsuit. And now I'll get a call from the lawyer.
So,
They're still watching at the end of this.
Mucho
Yeah,
media.
nobody's watching at this point, guys.
Exactly.
Christina.
Oh look!
yeah,
oh,
my
look.
girlfriend, my
Honey.
parents,
Aiden.
Laura and Daisy, and we
Where's
forgot
Laura and Daisy
Bobby.
and Aiden.
Oh,
Yeah, look, and Pitchback Pictures, a company you never heard about.
Who is that?
It's from Brightlight. So it's a new idea to launch a new company.
oh, really?
Now where everybody knows Brightlight, he changed the name to Pitchback Pictures.
Just on some of the
Bright
movies.
light, and so now it's pitch black.
Yeah.
It's like,
Why did you change it?
as soon as you have established MGM,
No.
you say forget
No.
MGM, now we do table pictures. So
That's it, right?
Okay.
it's
Alright.
owned by the Ball KG. Thank you very much.
All right.